All right. Welcome, everybody. Kevin Hitt here with the Basilica, the Cudgel staff. I guess we'll call them the cast. We're just working through a little bit of technical difficulties, as seems to be the issue with every stream I've ever watched, ever. But I think we've pretty much managed to get some things worked out, I hope. As you can see, I think we're going to be down a person today, maybe two. But no matter, because we have a fine cast of people that know what they're doing, and you know, if they want to kill off the other characters for fun, well, who knows? Maybe they'll do so. And she charges.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh man! So, anyways, welcome. Glad you guys are here. And we've got a blockbuster show that's going to be action-packed, and a lot of things are going to be revealed today as to why our heroes had to walk through a long-ass tunnel last time. So we're going to go ahead and go around the table here and introduce ourselves, and we're going to start with Frederick this time. So, Frederick.
Oh, a nice change of space, but this one feels like to be in the middle. Oh, hello down there. Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm playing Frederick Melodus, the dwarf bard of glamour. And yeah, right now he's just sort of in the middle of this open doorway. We just kicked some ghosts, and right now he's on his giant goat Moses, and we're just waiting to see what comes up this door from the other side.
All right. Cleric, all you.
I have to remember to unmute. Hi, everybody. I'm Cleric of Cord, and I play Birdsong Periwinkle, who is a halfling paladin, Oath of the Ancients, and she is all about bringing light and joy and happiness to everyone. Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death, so she's here to get you to the banquet.
Ooh, I like. And Jerome.
All right. Hello. I'm Jerome. Well, actually, I'm not Jerome. I'm Man and Moth. I'm Tim. Hi. Voices. Multiple personalities. Still fine. It's all good. It's D&D. Hey, I'm Tim. I'm at and Moth. I'm playing Jerome, the human conjuration wizard, who last week got a nice new pet and then sent the pet away. But that's all fine, because we're going through a big-ass long tunnel, and nothing's going to go wrong. Nothing at all. We had difficulty with a portcullis. It's a door. This is normal D&D. Every D&D group has a problem with a door at one point. We had a problem with a door.
Yeah, door mimics are a thing. We have trouble with those every now and again.
You know, these doors. Mr. Kaladin.
Hello.
Introduce yourself.
I'm okay. Also sometimes known as your friendly neighborhood dungeon master, DM Jezzians, and I'm playing Kaladin, the cleric of Rao, god of peace and forbearance, who got a little pissed off last week at the spirits of these traitor humans who had been a part of assisting Ayuz and his campaign against the Shieldlands, I believe, right? I don't really know my Greyhawk history very well. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
So he sort of laid the smack down and made sure that those spirits were defeated last week, and he's going to shake out of that hopefully pretty soon here. And I'm ready to get out from underground.
Well, why don't I go ahead and give a little narrative, and we'll catch up our audience and what happened last week, and we'll catch up to exactly where you are. So last week, our heroes, after falling into a giant sinkhole, after battling goblins, well, I wouldn't say battling, I would say they attempted to battle, and the whole battlefield fell into the earth.
We attempted to parlay. We attempted to parlay. That is the important bit here.
Yes. We try brokering peace, but the ground thought otherwise. Yeah.
Yes.
Parlay being now the goblin word for death by cold.
Yeah. Yes. So once again, after after our intrepid Jerome decided to dimension door himself into the middle of the goblin camp. Through a sheer act of something, the ground decided to crumble beneath him. The party fell into this ginormous cavern and has since found a tunnel which leads to I would say a supply tunnel, like perhaps one they would smuggle things in and out of. And when our heroes got into this room, they were encountering 4 ghosts that ended up telling our heroes that they were traitors and that they had sent good supplies and other things to support Ayuz in his battle to take over the Flyness. This would be the first time that we saw Kaladin really become angry and not want to use words, but use, weapons and magics of destruction. Don't mess with Kaladin if you're a traitor. You're going to get taken care of one way or the other. But our heroes now, after, walking back and forth in a tunnel that is over, and this is what they didn't realize, this tunnel is over 100 miles long. And they went through this tunnel, and now they have arrived in what appears to be the staging area, where they've just got through a portcullis into this room, and off to their left, there is what appears to be a very large wooden door that is now, think 20 feet high, 20 feet wide. It's a double door. It means it opens in the middle so that it swings one way or the other. But that is the only way in or out of this particular room. And so after dispatching the ghosts and letting them know, in no uncertain terms that they will not be tolerated in this dimension and plane, you are now sitting in a room contemplating this giant door with the full ramifications of where you are right now.
Right. So, that happened.
Yeah, it was a little bit dicey first time dealing with ghosts, but overall went pretty well. So
No one died.
Yeah,
That's the key thing. No one died.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Birdie's laid the skeletons to rest. She's broken the bones so that they can't be reanimated, hopefully, so that the souls are rest. Is there a way out? A way up? Is there another door?
I want to
So
climb up on. I want to
please.
climb up on Moses's head, like the goat, just to try to see if I can get a better view at the hinges or just an overall view of the door to see if it's operable just from where I am.
Yeah, absolutely. So we won't need to roll any sort of checks. What you see is a cavern-like room. There are, in fact, some stonework that surrounds. So the stonework goes up maybe 15, 20 feet. But after that particular mark, it would be as if you walked into a cave, a cavern of some sort. But the walls look to have been reinforced from the floor to about 15 feet. The doors you see, it just makes sense to you that they open outward so that they wouldn't flood the room that you're in and wouldn't get in the way of anything. So the doors certainly open outward into whatever is beyond those doors. So this room obviously is a staging area. It's where they brought in, according to the ghost that gave you the information. This is where they would put the goods and then cart them over 100 miles to wherever it went, the goblin camp, and maybe beyond if there were any more tunnels, maybe even leading into the cape that you were at once, to help Ayuz in the battle to take over Orth and the Flyness. So this is where you are. These doors, they're a little rotted at this time, though. They're not, in pristine shape. It doesn't look as if they were maintained. But they were, at one point, you can tell, very strong. But at this moment, you don't see any lock from the inside.
Okay. But I can tell they open they open outward, not inward.
Yes, you would push
Is that right?
them out. Yes, if you open them, you would push them out. And mind you, each side is 10 feet wide and 20 feet high.
Okay.
All right, everybody, put your shoulders into it.
All right.
And
I'm
Bernie's
like,
gonna, with her shield, bracing her forearm and her flail, she's getting ready to shove one of the doors open, see if she can get it open just enough to for us to pass through.
yeah, and
And-
I'm like revving up like Moses just to like charge up and try to go for the other door. Just a literal battering ram. Just go right through that door.
Oh no.
And heroes, don't be afraid to role play or use the other characters as you would think they would work out
Okay.
here. And in this situation, I do think Arna would be next to Birdsong, helping her maybe push the crack open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Frederick, I don't think it's necessary maybe to open both doors. If we can just get one pushed in enough to get us
Alright.
through, I don't think we need to open them wide.
All right. Well, let's at least like get
They're
some
easier to
peek
close that
inside
way.
then.
All right.
Right. Yeah. So I'll just
Okay,
mosey
so
on up and we'll see if
Birdsong,
we can
you and
peek through. Yeah.
all right. So Birdsong and Arna, right side, left side, which door?
Facing the door, probably facing the door would try to open the left side one.
Okay. So you're on the left side of the door, and you and Arna, expecting, kind of a stuck door. Well, you're able to push it open, but kind of like any fence you would see today that's got maybe a chain tied around it, it does in fact open about 6 to 12 inches. But you do notice that there's a chain, perhaps wrapped around two sides of the door. And you do see a lock actually dangling down in that middle section in which you've been able to open the door.
Frederick, I think
Yes?
this is where you come in handy.
Right. I will take off my instrument playing gloves. I'll cast Mage Hand to like go through the little barrier of the door, and then just see if I
Okay.
can pick the lock from the opposite side.
Okay, and the lock isn't that difficult. It's simply, it's common. You've known these kind of padlocks. It's going to be a check of 10 for you.
Okay, so that is dexterity and proficiency for lock picking. That is going to be a 21. Yeah. No, dirty 20 for that.
Sure.
So easy.
Sure. So, yeah, I mean, with no problem. I mean, again, you've seen locks of this type before. It takes him no time at all. The lock flicked open. It's now open on one side. Mage Hand takes this lock off, and as the chain kind of just makes that noise as it's sliding through something, it just hits the ground, making, a noise of chain hitting the ground, and the doors look as if they could be pushed open.
All right. I believe that's your cue, Bertie.
So Bertie and Arnold just kind of give it a little bit of a shove, and she'll slip on through.
Okay, so as you guys push the door, just you're pushing it, I assume, like you said, just enough to get your bodies through. As you come through the door, you see that you see a cavern, and you see a ramp that goes on, for a good, I would say, just by your estimation, 100 yards. And Birdsong, you hear what appears to be perhaps waves crashing on rocks, maybe, or like if you picked up a seashell and put it to your ear, that kind of sound. You're getting the vibe that you are somewhere near, perhaps, a body of water, an ocean of some kind.
Well, I think we're in the right place. Is there any lighting in here at all?
There, in fact, at the top of the ramp, so the ramp, it is an incline, and so if you had to guess, it goes up about 10 feet total in the 100-foot distance that you're seeing. And there is a glow at the top of the ramp. It's not bright. It's a slight glow, but it's fairly dark where you are, minus the light, I believe, that you still have shining, you or Arna. I think she cast or somebody put a light on the tip of a weapon or something. But you've got...
Arna's mace glows.
Yes.
Yep.
So Arna's mace, allows you to see just enough to make this out, but it is fairly dark other than that mace and the glow from it.
I'm thinking that Arna and Bertie are going to start forward ahead of the group, just kind of prepared. I mean, we're supposed to be here to help provide relief. I believe, and so that we can send relief back to
Camden.
Camden. Thank you. I tried
Right,
to block
so-
his name from my mind. So she's not expecting too much resistance or an attack or anything, but she's still going to be prepared. I think she and Arna are prepared for that. So they're going to move slowly, cautiously
Totally fair.
up the ramp.
All right.
Okay.
And
And so just for people, as a reminder, our heroes did get a message from Camden, who is the commander of the keep from which they came. They had a specific message, and now they're trying to get back to him with a little bit of aid and help, because his message stated that perhaps his keep was under attack. And so this is the heroes have that message in mind. And now as they start to head up the ramp, Jerome, Kaladin, and Kirjava, you guys see Arna and Birdsong slip out of the door and are quietly and slowly walking up the ramp. What are you guys doing?
Kaladin's going to wave. He's sort of been standing back a little ways, just sort of clenching and unclenching his fists and taking deep breaths, and he sort of waves the rest of his companions on and says, I'll be with you in a moment. You'll have to just give me just a second, but I won't be far behind.
all right,
I,
Jerome, would you like a ride? I mean, I can provide one if you want some extra muscle on your side in case you decide to run in.
Thanks, Frederick, but I'm going to take it a bit slow today. I'm just going to stay back a little bit. I'm going to grab the chain, though, that was on the ground holding the door in, and I'm just going to carry the chain with me, because you never know when you need the chain.
Good call. I'm just
If
going
there's a
to...
good gang fight, you got to have it. I get it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and before we leave before I leave the room, I just want to give it like one last look over to see if there's like any like papers or notes or anything in this room that can sort of tell us a bit more about the history of this place.
Sure. So your last glance, sort of a parting goodbye to this room. The only things that you still see Kaladin kind of in the room, and he's contemplating something. The bodies of the soldiers, the traitors, have been destroyed. They're crumpled. You do once again see part of their patches that were on their shoulder, which is that of the shield lands. A red shield with a chess rook in black emblazoned upon the shield. The reality here is that you don't see anything other than these bodies, dust, broken bones, and you have a full understanding now that what was happening here. But the last thing you really see is kind of Kaladin just waiting for something.
All right, I'm gonna at that point then Jerome's just gonna hang by the door and just wait for Kaladin and make sure he's okay. And it'd be like, whenever you're ready, buddy. All there.
And I'm gonna mosey on up ahead, like try to get like right between where Arna Birdsong are, and I'll take Kirjava just on the back of the on Moses's back, and I'll just be like waiting in the middle, just trying to keep equal distance in case something goes wrong. I can rush in either direction.
Okay.
Mhm.
So Kaladin, the scene shifts to you really quick as you are in this room. Is there anything in particular that you are doing at this time?
Yeah, so as folks sort of clear out of the room, I'm going to take sort of a few steps to the far side, as far away from the door as I can be, while still in view of that door, so that Jerome doesn't get worried. And he's going to grab his holy symbol and begin praying. And I'm going to cast Calm Emotions on myself, actually. This is sort of what he does after he ends up fighting for one reason or another. It's a bit of a... it is the fantasy equivalent of taking a Xanax when you've had a day.
Absolutely.
Awesome. I love it.
He tries. He actually doesn't. He really, and I think you all would probably. I mean, at one point, at least, most of you have probably seen him do this, and he kind of hates to have to do it, which is why it usually takes him a while. He tries to calm himself down on his own, but it rarely works. So he's going to do that. And once the spell takes effect, he'll sort of take a deep breath and nod and collect Jerome and continue on following the rest of the party.
Okay. So, Jerome, as you know, you've noted many times, you've kind of been, the caretaker of whenever Kaladin is needing to take care of himself in that way. You kind of are always the guy either watching the door or just giving him that knowing nod that, yeah, we understand. So as you and Kaladin, kind of walk out, person by person, you see the party's ready to go, and everybody's just kind of waiting. Kaladin, you're getting those knowing nods of love from your party, like, okay, we're ready to go. And so, party, you are now just outside of the doors, on the ramp. What would you like to do here?
Birdie is going to use her divine sense. She wants to sense within within 60 feet the location of any celestial fiend or undead that is not behind total cover, and also the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated, also within 60 feet.
Okay, so Birdie, as you start to cast, maybe not within 60 feet, but just on the outer edges, maybe beyond the ramp. Like it's hard, it's fuzzy, right? So within 60 feet, you have like this very clear view of these things that would happen, but you feel just beyond that distance a fuzziness, a feeling of desecration, but not knowing a whole lot. But that's all you can get as you cast that spell within your 60-foot radius.
All right. It's going to kind of take her back for a moment, and she's going to pause. She's going to turn around and sing Kaladin. This place has been desecrated ahead. We need to be prepared.
Cal will sort of head a little bit forward so that he's up with Birdie, and he'll nod and say and ask, is it a strong desecration? Do we feel like it's been recent, or has it been here a while? Do you have any idea? What were you able to suss out?
It's just on the edge of my senses. It's ahead of us. And it's vague, it's almost out of reach.
All right. Well, we should proceed slowly until we get a better sense, and hopefully it's just a leftover of the time past, and there won't be any immediate threat. But good looking out, Birdie. We'll take it slow.
Yeah.
All right. With the cursed ones, I think we may be running into more of that. And she's
you may be right.
Okay, so the party, you hear this conversation, and you kind of know Birdie had a feeling. She's not quite sure. But I'm going to assume at this point that the party's going to just start walking forward at a slow kind of pace, not charging into anything, but more observant than, attacking kind of pace. And this is not new to you. You guys have practiced this for months, where you know exactly where each other are. You walk at the same distance. So as the heavy hitters, as they're known to the camp in Walworth, they go up the ramp. And who is first again?
I think
Probably Bertie and Arna are together.
Okay,
in the
so
lead.
Bernie and Arna. Okay, Birdsong and Arna. As you guys, okay, so the ramp 100 yards long, right? So you've just walked very slowly the length of a football field. You didn't get any weird vibes, from this ramp. But as you get to the top and crest and you look out, you see, in this analogy, you really see what looks to be like, if you've ever been on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland, but ethereal ghosts that are going through the motions of putting supplies in carts and carts moving and then disappearing, almost as if they are stuck in this just animation of giving these goods. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 of them on the left side of this cave where there's water and the shipwreck of a boat that would have been tied maybe to a dock, a small dock, a boat in the water, one of its masts kind of crooked over, and there are 6 apparitions, and they're going through the motions, and you notice it's the same motion, one after the other. It never stops. It's exactly the same.
Quietly,
They haven't noticed.
she's gonna quietly. She's got her shield and her flail, and she kind of puts up a hand, and then she'll look back over her shoulder at Kaladin. Motioning forward.
Yeah, I'll approach. These seem significantly less actively hostile than the ones we encountered before. These seem more like sort of echoes of what they were doing before, or do they just seem to have not noticed us yet?
I think with your background and wisdom in kind of, the undead and, paladins and clerics understanding this stuff, they look to be exactly the same condition in terms of what they would be able to do if there was a fight.
Okay. All right. Which, of course, leads me to believe that these are probably traitors just like the others. And he sort of tightens his fist and takes a deep breath. What do you think, Bernie?
Notice,
There's a lot more of them here than there were.
Uniforms, guys.
I was gonna say, while looking at the crowd, I want to see if I can spot out perhaps a ghost captain or someone who looks like the leader of this animation, of this whole crowd going on.
No, absolutely. So imagine, if you will, you've just crested this ramp. You are now in a cave that is, now that the ocean feeds into this cave. You see ocean water, you can see light, but it's still kind of far away. It's not very close. But off to the left side of this cave, which is about, I would say, 40 yards wide, and it's very tall, maybe 60 feet high, in a cavern, there's a shipwreck. And the boat is obviously, its keel on the bottom. It's broken. It's destroyed. You see one ghost visage who is actually at the bow area, but on the deck. He looks to be like he's in charge. Perhaps you don't hear words, but he points and his mouth moves. And the others are and there's really no goods you don't see any goods. You just see them moving air. But you do see the carts, a visceral cart. You see those. And one guy will push the cart all the way to where the ramp would be, but way to the side, because that they'd have to make a big left turn to even get it there still. And then he goes right back up and does the same thing. The carts disappear in that area. They go away.
I'm assuming like Jerome's probably seeing this as well.
Yes, Jerome, you've seen this.
So with the observant feat, it says I can lip read if I know what the language, if the language is speaking. So are they speaking either Common, Dwarvish, Orc, or Primordial?
Okay. What I would like to do is roll a check here because they're not solid. You know what I'm saying? So their lips aren't completely solid and readable. But because of your skill, I would give you a chance, of course, to I'm going to call it a DC 13 check on this.
Okay. What am I doing? Perception, insight, or
let's do insight.
Okay.
Let's do insight.
Okay, that is a 28.
Okay. For some reason, Jerome, you've connected with this visage. You see it, and you're reading his lips, and it's all right, lads. We need to get this stuff to the tunnel. We need to get this stuff to the keep. The war depends on you, lads. Keep pushing. Get it down there. That's what you and every time the guy from the cart comes back, he says it over again. It's just a continual time capsule, and he just continues to say it.
Okay. This is kind of really being really visceral to Jerome right now, and is bringing up a lot of like background history for Jerome. Like it's it's ships, it's sailing, it's crew, it's people that he's probably knows a bit about from his background and stuff. So he's like seeing all this and seeing, dude, what kind of boat is it?
Not a galley. A smaller masted boat, maybe a sloop,
it's like a keel boat or something.
Yeah, but Jerome, your emotional thought process and how much it affects you, in one way or the other, one of those ghosts has connected to that thought.
Which
and you
one?
See one of them turn its head and it looks you directly in the eyes.
Okay. Right. I'm gonna walk towards it and be like, I'm gonna walk towards it and be like, right there, sailor. Now go with it.
Jerome walks towards this ghost.
Birdie's like, she's trying to put a hand out to stop it. She's got like the shield she's trying to stop it. And she's preparing to cast a spell.
I'm just saying, Jerome, if anyone tries to stop Jerome, he's going to try like roll you off the shoulder and keep walking.
Oh, wow. I was going to put like my rapier like right in the way.
Okay, I'm going to assume that while they're trying to stop you, they're not going to hurt you. So,
not yet.
You guys, you're letting him know, like, WTF, right? But Jerome decides to just forego your warnings and your blocking, and he sidesteps the shield and sidesteps the rapier, and he's now approaching. And you notice that one of the ghosts is completely locked eyes on Jerome, but hasn't stopped doing his job at this point.
I am going with Jerome. Birdsong is, as soon as Jerome pushes past her, she falls into step with him.
The moment Birdsong steps forward, the man whose lips you are reading turns and faces, and all of a sudden puffs up and is becoming a little bigger than he was. Almost as a show of don't F with me.
The second that happens, I'm going to cast. I want to cast Major Image and form basically a giant ghost of Ews, just like right behind where Jerome is walking in.
Frederick,
Whoa.
give me a reason or evidence that you would know what Ayuz looks like.
Did I never fought in the front lines, or did I ever see like pictures of him,
Yes,
or could I, like,
you did.
yeah, or any
Exactly,
like
perhaps
recollections
you
of like, or like people saying like, oh, he's an ugly little goblin thing, lich, or just things I can like just collect and make a mental image.
Give me give me a history check, sir.
Okay. Ooh,
And tell me what you roll.
Ooh, that's natural 2 plus 2. So that's only a 4.
So yeah. So Frederick, the non-artsy one,
do I see him trying to do this?
You do.
Do I see him trying to do this? Okay.
You do.
I'm going to cast Counterspell.
Okay. So Frederick, you take the time to make this crayon drawing of Ayuz on your thing, right? And Jerome, with the wave of his hand,
I'm like,
Jerome,
no,
roll me a d20.
Okay.
I will say it's a 3rd level, so depending, you can
Yeah,
possibly beat it.
Counts. Yeah.
It's not automatic.
Yeah,
It's
just
an automatic one,
yeah.
I think. Yeah. It's just. I rolled a 15
Jerome,
plus whatever, but my hand just went like, I don't know, just.
Yeah. Jerome, with the back of his hand, counterspells your crayon drawing out of the air. And it continues to walk forward. And now
Oh, God.
you have 2 sets of eyes on you, Jerome.
Okay. Okay. Knowing Birdie's behind me, I'm just going to say, I know decisions haven't been made by me in the good way in the last couple of days, but we want to avoid fights. We want to know what's happened. Trust me on this. I got this.
These are undead. Souls need to be laid to rest.
Souls need to be laid to rest. We can do that. We don't have to go in killing them when we don't know what's happening.
That's how you put the souls to rest, is you destroy the ghost. They are undead.
There might be another way. We gotta try the other way.
There is no
We don't know
way.
what's happened here. We don't know what's happened here. Let's try and find that.
I am staying with you, and at the first, I'm going to hold my action to attack if there's any hostile move towards Jerome or anybody else in the party, and I am going to be with Jerome, right next to him, or just off of his shoulder, ready to go.
Okay. We will, if we get to the initiative portion, if that happens, and I'll note that for sure. So Jerome and Birdsong, you are approaching this, what looks to be a time warp of ghosts doing tasks. How close are you getting?
I want to get, like, not in his grill, but like, what is like nice and like personal if you're just meeting someone at a conference. Like arms, like personal bubble.
So
not in his personal bubble space, joining his personal bubble space.
As you and Birdsong approach these ghosts and you're getting closer and closer, the man you think is the foreman or the person in charge of this group, he's on the verge of something. You feel like maybe he's ready to change shape, become something horrible, or unleash some sort of he's he's at that point, but he's teetering. He's not there yet.
I say,
see. Go ahead.
It's like, Avast, sailor. How goes the day?
Every day is the same. We do it all over again. No control. How would you feel?
What can I do to help end this? Release you back to the sea.
Send us back. Do we deserve to go back? Or do we deserve to be here for all eternity for our sins? For traitors are we?
Traitors or no traitors, you deserve to go back to the sea. You deserve rest, my friend. You deserve the tavern.
All the people we've killed and helped kill. We are not deserving. But
If that's the case, then I'm deserving as well.
perhaps you can send us back. And one of them turns to you, and he becomes this visage, he's turning into this horrible looking visage of ghostly monstrosity. And this is where you're going to roll initiative. So everybody roll. Here we go.
Jerome, just for Jerome's edification, you have a bonus to saving throws equal that is 5. So you get to add 5 to any saving throw, and you are resistant to damage from spells while you're within 10 feet of me.
Ooh.
Paladins, yo.
The ghost rolled a 1, so there as a group will have a 1 as initiative.
Right.
I rolled a 9.
All right.
10 for
So
Birdie.
Frederick with a 9,
Yes.
Birdie with a 10.
Yep.
And
Paladin?
she held an action, so she going first, though.
Al got a 15.
And Jerome got a 13.
All right.
All right.
What about who's gonna play Kurjava?
I've got her sheet in front of me. I'll do it. Yeah, she got a 22.
Oh, good lord.
All right, I've now got to work out how to play druids again. Okay.
All right. So who had the 15?
Cal did.
Kaladin. So Kaladin,
Yes.
Birdie. Let's go Birdie first. So Birdie,
Yeah.
Okay.
almost with a sixth sense that this wasn't going to go right, you all of a sudden see the one ghost that Jerome is next to turn, and he's starting to turn into this monstrosity, this tendril monstrosity. Just he's about ready to just turn into something else. The others drop their imaginary items and they turn to face the party. Birdsong, what would you want to do?
Bonus action, Divine Smite, using first level spell, and then 2 attacks on the apparition closest to me.
Okay. And Arna has somebody roll for Arna because she's got some super duper weapon against undead and ghosts.
I just
Yep.
got Arna. She got a 14 for initiative.
Copy that. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna go. her over
So,
here. There we go.
Birdsong,
Yeah,
you're right next to Jerome. Are you attacking the one next to Jerome?
that I am.
All right. So, Jerome, you immediately know this is going sideways, and Birdsong kind of gives you a nudge backwards and attacks this ghost that's right in front of you. Go ahead and attack.
First attack is 21 to hit.
Okay, that definitely scores.
That's horrible. So that's I rolled 2 1s and a 5 for my damage. So that is 6 points of radiant damage and 4 magical bludgeoning.
Okay. Let's see. All right, so they are resistant to bludgeoning. All right, so Birdie steps up, swings once, scores and sees that familiar light of, not hitting something solid, but knowing you're doing damage to this, ethereal thing. And so, Birdie, you hit it once, and I'm going to assume you're going to swing twice.
Oh, yeah. Second hit is also a 21.
That'll score.
Oh, that is much better. That is 4 bludgeoning and 11 radiant.
Outstanding. Okay, so that hits home. Sparks fly. You know that this particular ghost feels it right at that very moment. But it's still standing, turning, creating, getting ready to go and be something else.
And she's interposed herself between Jerome and the apparition so that she's in melee range with it and he's behind her.
Okay, so so Jerome, you feel her shield hand kind of with her elbow comes around you and kind of pulls you backward just a step. And I'm assuming you're allowing that to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jerome does take that step backwards, Birdsong, as you kind of, get in front. You swing twice at this particular ghost, hurting it, but not killing it. It looks mad and angry as it just turns and becomes a little brighter and is ready to do things. And now I believe we have Kaladin is up. Kaladin, you see Birdsong jump in from Jerome, swing twice, score twice, but the ghost is still standing and angry as ever.
So he's going to, for the moment, because he knows he has to keep focused, he'll sort of step forward and once again grab his holy symbol and pray to Rao and attempt to turn undead once again.
Okay. All right. So let me get... So the way that this is... what's your radius for turning undead, Kaladin?
I believe it's 30-foot radius, but let me just double check. Yes, it is a 30-foot radius from me, and I'll sort of step as close to the center of the room as I can manage at the top of my turn.
So remember, this is what it looks like. You're basically on a dock, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you run up to this dock. The dock is about 20 feet wide. There is water, complete ocean water, where boats would, pull up and dock on the right side. So you're fighting on a 20-foot wide dock, knowing that everything to your right is water, okay?
Okay.
So as you run up and you cast your spell, are you moving as close as you can to get as many as you can kind of deal?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've run up and you're basically next to Jerome, okay?
Okay.
You know that you're going to be able to pray to your god and attempt to turn. You will have a chance to do 4.
Okay.
All right? And so
Sure.
I need to make a saving throw at
Yeah,
what?
wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
DC 16.
Okay. So I get a +1 to these rolls.
Alrighty.
And every single one, awesome, fails.
Awesome.
They-
All right.
So
We have such
Kaladin
crazy
shows up, holy symbol in hand, disgusted by these abominations, and casts Turn Undead. And you just see these 4 ghosts, their eyes get a little wider, and 2 of them are heading towards the water. The other
Great.
2 are going backwards towards their foreman. Kaladin, is
Great.
at the end of your turn.
It is not. So then once
Okay.
once Cal sees that has... Oh, yeah. Were any of those... these are ghosts, right? So they're not CR1 or lower, are they?
They are not.
Okay, great. Just making sure. So seeing this was fairly effective. The one that Birdie was attacking, is it still... is it still there? No, I guess not still there, huh?
That's
'Cause
the
they all
one
failed.
that's headed towards the water.
Okay, and how many are there that I wasn't able to reach?
2 more.
2, right?
The
2 more?
captain,
Okay.
the foreman, and
Uh-huh.
one of the persons that was taking it off the boat onto the dock.
Got it. Okay. So
First and
So I then am going to use embodiment of the law and look around and realize that we still have plenty of work to do, and I'm going to use that to turn Bless into a bonus action spell and cast Bless on Birdie, Arna, and Frederick.
Okay, so
Thank you.
not only does Kaladin present his holy symbol to turn these abominations, but in the blink of an eye, he also puts his other hand up and he blesses those people in this fight with these ghosts. And Kaladin, explain what bless is going to do for them.
Mechanically, it'll give you all a D4 added to your attack rolls and saving throws. It also, so when I pray for bless, it requires a bit of my concentration, and you can see sort of the calm, peaceful, serene exterior that I've been holding on to with my spell sort of begin to dissipate, and that hard, steely look comes back into my eye because I'm no longer able to make use of my fantasy Xanax.
So, just as fast as he took it, the fantasy Xanax is wearing off.
Yeah.
And you see, I mean, once again, this is in Kaladin's wheelhouse. He's really never had to face these type of creatures in a very long time, but you know that he's done it before, and he really doesn't like these guys. And so,
and in particular, the reason that these are hanging around as ghosts is what's really upsetting him.
So Kaladin is just in badass mode right now, just standing tall, making people run away from him. He's blessed some of the party members, and obviously he wants to just destroy these things. Let's go with Kurjava because she had a 22.
Yeah.
So who would like to play her?
I've got her sheet in front of me.
Okay. Jerome?
Okay. Kajava, seeing all this, and probably wanting the fight, is going to wild shape into a direwolf.
Mm-hmm.
And then as a bonus action, and then she's going to probably try and move forward and bite into whatever ethereal ghost there is.
Sure. Okay, so Kurjava just, what were those vampire movies? Turns into a direwolf, or you see her form go from human to direwolf, and she charges into the fray. Direwolves have they can bite for +5.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's considered magical for overcoming resistances because of her Circle of the Moon wild shape stuff.
So she charges forward and attempts to bite the one that's closest to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that would be that'll be a 17.
A 17 will hit. You get roll 2d6 plus 3 for damage.
Yeah. Oh, heck. That'll be a 10. 10 points of piercing, and the target... No, it can't be not praise a ghost. What am I thinking?
Yeah. All right. So, Kurjava just in this unbelievable transformation immediately goes from humanoid to direwolf, charges at the ghost in front of Jerome, takes a hefty bite out of this thing. Again, nothing really moves but you know that it's done damage again with a little bit of glowing and a little bit of sparks that's happening. Who do I have next? I believe I have Arna at 14.
Yeah.
And she's going to... Go ahead, Kaladin.
I think she's going to go... I've got her sheets here. So I think she does have that amazing maze. So I think she's going to head to... I feel like she would head to the one that seems to be in charge, the captain or the whatever it was that she saw, the foreman.
Okay. So I think I'm going to get an opportunity attack if she passes up the one deckhand that is in front of him, because it's... Well, no, Kaladin, it's 55 feet to that guy.
Oh, okay. All right, no problem. In that case, she'll go over to the one that Kirjava just attacked then.
Okay. All right. So there's a beatdown party going on the ghost in front of Jerome.
Take care of them one at a time.
Yep. Dragonborn shows up with that incredible mace and swings.
And she swings the first time, and that is a 22 to hit.
Absolutely scores.
All right, and she does. Oops, here we go. 10, 15, 20 points of damage, 10 of which is radiant.
Got it. So, go ahead.
Does the creature have less than 25 hit points after taking this damage?
Well, this creature has less than 0 hit points after taking
okay,
this
goodbye,
damage.
creature.
So
Awesome.
Arna comes in and with one swing of her mace sends this ghost back to where it belongs, and it dissipates in just flowy tendrils of smoke and light. And you almost feel, Jerome, as you feel a peaceful kind of energy radiate from the rest of it as it goes away, almost as if the story of the scorpion and the frog. If you ever heard that, it's in my nature. The ghost has to fight you, but knows and is thankful that it's been sent back. That's the feeling you're getting.
Okay.
Can she reach another one? Because she does have a second attack.
She can. She can move 10 feet. Yeah, there's one that is in lockstep, getting ready to go off the dock.
Yeah, that one
But she
can
can
stay.
reach that one. Yeah, she can reach him and hit him.
All right. That is a 19 to hit.
A 19 scores.
All right. And this one is 15 total damage, 9 of which is radiant.
Less than
if
25
creature-
still.
Does have less than 25?
Does not. It
does not.
30. That's
Okay.
30. That's
Got
30.
it. Okay. All
So
set
this
there.
creature, Arna dispatches the ghost in front of Jerome, pivots to her right, lays the smackdown on this other ghost that's obviously been turned by Kaladin as it tries to go away, but it takes a nasty knock on its head as Arna rushes through. I believe we have Jerome next.
Yeah. Is the captain on the bow still?
The captain is on the deck, but towards the bow, about 55 feet away from you.
Okay, right. Benign transposition, teleport 33 feet in front.
Okay.
And that's my action. I'm then going to run.
Okay.
And if I need to teleport onto the bow into his range, I'm then going to cast Misty Step.
Okay. Explain to us what Misty Step does.
Misty Step means I can just teleport another 30 foot to an unoccupied space. And it also, because it's a conjuration spell of first level or higher, it refreshes my benign transposition as well. So I'm now in, facing the captain. And I go...
Nose to nose.
Kind of,
so
yeah.
Jerome, doing his best Nightcrawler impersonation from the X-Men, jumps twice and ends up directly in front of this captain who... And Jerome, you notice there's just... His face isn't angry. It's almost sad. He knows what he has to do but doesn't want to do it. You just get that feeling from him that he's compelled to do what he's like. You can read this. He's beguiled. He knows he has to do this. And so you're getting that vibe from him as you finally get close to him. His face isn't angry, wanting to hurt. It's just disappointed.
What kind of... Is he wearing any kind of thing to signify what kind of...
So you guys know very well that sailors and don't like metal. They don't wear a whole lot of metal armor because if you sink, you're dead, right? He simply has a leather and like just a little bit of chainmail combination. And you can see from what you've known in the past, he's got stripes on his shield, on his patch. You know that means he roughly a sergeant in this. So one of the people obviously in charge. And so you can see it's leather and a little bit of chain, like a half chain shirt. And basically trousers of what you would see normal ship-faring folk wear. But again, he looks more sad than angry. But you know he's still going to attack you.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yep, and so I believe that brings us to Frederick.
Okay, so I've just been watching all this from like the peak of the ramp. Are there any ghosts that are just still lingering about? They look like they're going to attack anybody aside from like the captain.
Yeah, so as you stood back and you watched Jerome, walk up to one ghost, teleport twice, Birdie swinging, Arna swinging, Kaladin using his holy symbol, you see, 4 ghosts obviously don't want any part of this anymore. Immediately upon Kaladin bringing his holy symbol and praying to his god, 2 ghosts are heading towards the water. 2 ghosts are heading backwards towards Jerome. And Jerome is face to face with who's in charge and one of the other ghosts that was, the one pulling stuff off of the boat.
Okay.
So there's 2 that will be combatants right now.
Okay. So looking at all of this, I'm going to how far am I from the 3 ghosts that are in Jerome's area, the 2 combatants and the captain? Because
so if you wanted to go all the way to where Jerome is, about 60 feet.
Okay, because I'm still on Moses, so I'm thinking, I think I'm gonna try scaring them off, so I'm going to cast Major Image again, but this time before I go out, it's gonna be just a giant ethereal kraken, just sort of like coming out from the ground, like tentacle by tentacle, and it's gonna say to them, just like in common, I'm assuming they speak that, just in the name of Ayus, flee or die. And then while that's going on, I'm just going to right up on Moses, just try to get to where Birdie, Arna, just gonna try to get between where Jerome is and where the other guys are. So, and that's gonna be my turn. So. That's all I can do. And bonus action, give Jerome inspiration, just cause he might need it. So DA if you need
Jerome, you feel Frederick, riding up, casting spells, singing and saying nice things about you as he gets right to you. You feel inspired by his confidence in you. And someone does. And so I believe that will be it for the parties around. And now it's time for the ghost. And Jerome, you feel in your heart he doesn't want to hit you. He doesn't want to fight you. But regardless, he lashes out and he turns into this horrifying visage. And each non-undead creature within 60 feet of him must succeed on a 13 DC wisdom saving throw or be frightened for 1 minute. And if you fail by 5 or more, you're going to age 1d4 times 10 years.
So, wisdom saving throw, yeah?
Wisdom for you, wisdom for Frederick, wisdom for Birdie, wisdom for Kaladin. I think you're all there. You're all there.
Anyone within 10 feet of Birdie. Anyone within 10 feet of Birdie will have advantage on this save.
Okay, so that will be Birdie, Kaladin, Arna, and the Druid, Kurjava. They will all receive that bonus.
Great.
Okay,
All
so
I'm sorry, not
Kajava's
advantage. You get a +5. I apologize. You get a +5 to that advantage.
Okay,
That's...
talk to me.
Kajava got 19.
Okay, Kurjava survives this horrifying visage,
Jerome got a 27.
which that is apropos to your understanding of the situation. You know he really doesn't want to hurt you, and so you had that idea in your head, and you were kind of ready for it.
I rolled a 15 plus 2, so that is a 17.
A
So I
17
think
will
we're good.
save. Yes.
Kaladin got also a 17, and Arna got a non-natural 20.
All right. So you guys see, you got Birdie?
Birdie's a 23.
Birdie. So you guys, you guys have seen a lot of battles in your time. I mean, you guys have been trained. You see this. You haven't seen anything quite like this, though. I mean, this thing just turns into, the nightmares of your childhood. It turns into, anything that you were scared of. But you all have been able to kind of suppress that and see through it. And once again, Jerome, you know that he's not he doesn't want to hurt you, and perhaps this was his way of getting everybody to run away so that his natural nature doesn't take over. And so the deckhand then turns. He doesn't have that look of sadness. He looks like he wants to kick your ass. So I'm going to roll a D6. 1, 2, 3. He attacks Frederick. 4, 5, 6. It's Jerome. Jerome,
Yeah.
you are going to be on the other edge of this attack. And once again, Jerome, you feel these hands come towards you as they rest on your shoulders. He's trying to enter your mind. He's trying to be you. You feel a little part of yourself like, oh shit, wait, where am I going? You feel like some of your mental state's starting to leave as these hands grab your shoulders. You're going to need to roll a charisma saving throw of 13 or better, or be possessed by this thing.
15.
So it was close. You feel it. Yeah, I mean, it's coming at you. It's trying to take you over. And, I mean, it's on the cusp of, like, you feel like your body being almost controlled by a separate entity. But at the last moment, you hear an audible snap as this connection breaks and the ghost backs off. Just looking at you, you know he wants to take you over. Now, the other 4, they're not running, but 2 of them, doing their best Jesus Christ impersonation, they are walking on water. They have walked past the boat. They are walking on top of the water at a good pace to get away from you. Jerome, the other 2, though, who are scared, are actually making their way towards the foreman. And so they've passed you up, and now they're standing next to the foreman right here. And yes.
Yeah, did the Kraken scare them off anymore? Did that fool them?
I rolled for that, and the Kraken, one of them rolled a 1, and he is just booking it. Okay. The one that's on the left side of the water. Okay.
All right.
You probably won't ever see that dude again. But the other 3 actually rolled high for once and survived. Okay. But we're now back at the top of the order of this encounter, and Kurjava, I believe, is a 22.
Yeah.
So what is Kurjava going to do as a direwolf?
As a direwolf, she's going to, she just wants to sink her teeth into the etherealness, and so she's going to just like bound towards, get the stats up. Yeah, bound towards the nearest ghost, and she's going to try to take a bite out of it again.
Okay, so the nearest ghost is actually the deckhand. So
Yeah, she'll go for the deckhand.
Yep. So you see the direwolf sprint, gallop, leaps in the air. Claws and teeth are gnashing and getting ready. Go ahead and roll your attacks for the direwolf. I believe.
Yeah, it's a +5 to hit. That's a 16.
16 is definitely going to hit, and that'll be 2d6 plus 3.
Yeah, that'll be a 8.
Perfect. Okay. So once again, this direwolf leaps across the docks, jumps and attacks, takes a nice little chunk out of this ghost that's by you, yet it still stands.
Okay, and I think that's all she can do. Yeah, that's it.
I think we're at Kaladin once again.
Unmute. I believe we are. All right. So that steely look still in his eye, he's going to turn on the captain that Jerome is in the face of, and he's going to hold his hand forward, and he will fire a guiding bolt at that one. This one will be at 3rd level, because again, he's having none of it. Oh yeah, that's something large. 24 to hit.
Absolutely. So, Kaladin, you stride forward, you open your hand, unleashing this bolt. I mean, it's square in the chest. Square in the chest.
That's 12 plus it's 18. It's 21 radiant damage, and it is shiny for the next attack against it. And again, just, nothing on Cal's face as he blasts away. In fact, who else is right next to the captain? Is it just Jerome?
So you have Jerome, you have the direwolf,
Right.
you have, I believe Frederick might be in the area.
Yeah,
and
I
you
might
have
give
the
up,
captain or the... Yeah, and the deckhand.
All right, I will then use. What is it called? Voice of authority, and command Kirjava, or give Kirjava the option to use her reaction to make a weapon attack against a creature of her choice within range.
Yeah,
So she
that'll
can
be
bite
a
again once.
that'll be a bite again. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that works.
Yeah. That's a 8 to hit.
That will actually miss.
That's all right.
Yeah.
So, jaws and teeth gnashing once again. You don't see that familiar light that does damage. So the direwolf misses. But Kaladin,
right.
you've done a significant blow against the captain.
Yes, but Kirjava gets advantage because he was glowy and shiny from the guiding bolt.
Roll one more dice.
Yeah.
That's a 14.
A 14 will actually hit. So
All
you
right.
roll.
All right. Cal.
And that's a 6. That's a 9 points of piercing damage.
Right? 4. All right. So after you thought the direwolf missed, you actually at the end see the glow. The glow is just a little delayed, but the glow shows in as the direwolf scores another hit on this visage. Once again, the deckhand looks like he could care less and wants to kill everybody around him. And Kaladin, when you struck the captain square in the chest, although you saw a wince of maybe a pain wince, there was no malice on his face towards you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's going to bring us, I believe, to Jerome.
It's
to
Arna.
Arna, I think.
No, Arna was first. Oh, yeah, Arna was at a 14. You're correct. Arna is next.
She's gonna attack whatever's closest to her. Now she's having fun.
Okay. So the two ghosts are off, walking on water right now.
Right. Yeah, she won't try. I mean, she's not that dumb. She's not gonna go run after him.
The deckhand, the foreman, and two other ghosts she can reach.
Those two ghosts. She'll go to the. Well, she'll go to the foreman. We might as well. She can see that that's sort of where we're all focusing our energies.
So Arna, the Dragonborn, she charges. She finds a gap between two of the party members, kind of shouldering her way past, and almost like out of the movie Achilles. She leaps over the top of you guys.
Yeah.
Swings, bang, right? Takes this massive swing.
Is it 15 to hit?
15 scores.
Yeah. All right.
She used Jerome's shoulder as leverage to push and jump even higher.
Yes.
So she's up in the air and wham! She's scored for this thing.
And it flares as it hits, and that is a total of 16 damage, 9 of which is radiant.
So she strikes a devastating blow on this thing, and you see the foreman just reel back, who is now under 25 hit points. So what happens now?
Wisdom saving throw, DC 15 for him.
All right. Let's use... No, he fails. He rolls a 4.
He is destroyed.
So Jerome...
Radiant glitter.
The Dragonborn jumps over you, left hand on your shoulder, right hand on her mace, and swings. Boom! And you just see this massive blow. And you know that this particular visage, this ghost, was stronger than the others, and you feel an even greater light. But not only that, utter peace, utter almost gratitude you feel psychically as this ghost kind of starts to dissipate. He mouths the words, "Thank you," as he falls and turns into nothing.
Okay.
Well, Cal's affected, but Arna isn't. She's going to swing at the deckhand.
Oh, boy.
All right. Arna takes her. So, this is kind of a bitchin' scene right here. Literally, Arna jumps over you, just smacks this one dude. Arna's going to spin in a 180 and use the back of her mace to smack this thing.
Yep, and she rolls a 19, which with her class is a crit.
So she turns. Now I get to roll the crit die. All right. So the way that the crit dice works, I have an X, a 2X, and a 3X. An X is normal damage.
Okay.
2X is double it, and a 3X is triple it, baby. Here we go. Triple that shit.
All right.
3X right there. So you see,
normally it's 3.
the Dragonborn, man, just swings 180, uses the back of her mace, and just
17.
absolutely devastates this thing with how much?
17, 20, 28, 31, 36 damage, most of which is radiant.
So 30. Oh man, guys.
I'm just saying, like, Jerome is just seeing Arnold like smash them into like glitter, and he's just like, like the anime, like most animes where like it's like the lovey-dovey scene with the glitter. That's what Jerome's seeing right now. He's like,
that's what Frederick's seeing too, by the way. It's just like
again. So in just a beautiful, poetic, almost choreographed looking move, she thumps the foreman, who you saw thanks you as he pops out of existence. She turns 180 and with the back of her mace hits this ghost almost as if it was like real. You see the ghosts react like, oh shit, like this thing actually moved me, and dissipates from and dies. He just, again, visceral 10, and Arna is breathing heavily, looking. There's 2 more in front of you. They're turned, and they're trying to get away, but there are 2 more in front of you.
You have an action surge if you want to use it.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. What do y'all think?
Can you get to them? I mean,
Provided you say
they're-
the captain for me,
They're like
I'm fine.
7 feet away from you.
Yeah? All right. Well, then,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. Why not? Let's do it again.
Oh my gosh.
If
Doing the
only she
dance
was here.
face.
We're
I
just
know. All right.
wrecking-
Let me mark
you're
this
just
action
wrecking
surge so I don't forget. Just mark it
I'm
on your
using my
sheet so
red
that-
marker for the death. Here we go.
All right. So on the okay. Well, that one's only a 12 to hit.
Hold on. Let me look. I don't think that's going to score, but
she wasn't under the effect of bless?
Oh, you're right. She was.
she is.
Ooh.
So that
But
was what did I say? A
no
12.
meaning. She hits anyways.
Oh, well, it was a
Yeah.
16 with the blast. All right, so attack 3 of 4. This one is 7, 10, 15 radiant damage, 15 damage, 7 of which is radiant.
Okay. So once again, I mean, just in a speed unlike you've ever seen from
Yeah.
Arna. You know, she's
And
supposed to be the brute, the tank, but in this instance, she is a choreographed just battering ram.
I think she's
Kill,
just having
kill,
a lot
turns
of
again,
fun.
swings and scores. And
I
she
think she's
swings
just
one
really
more time
enjoying
on this
herself.
thing.
She does one more time on this one because it does
Yeah.
still have more than 25 hit points, right?
Fair, yes.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
third swing, yes, that'll hit because that's a 15 on the die.
Yep.
This one's not quite as much. It is 12 total damage, 5 of which is radiant.
Oh well, it matters not. So as she swings again, the mace scores, and just unbelievably, it's just like all 3 just kind of just dissipate, and now she's heaving and breathing hard, but man,
And
she's got her eyes.
smiling.
She's got her eyes set on that next go. She really wished she had another turn to go after that one. But
There's nothing scarier than Arna, the Black Dragonborn, smiling,
in a matter of
surrounded by
seconds,
glitter
she has
bombs.
just had 3 of these ghosts.
Mm.
Jerome, you are
So-
witnessing greatness in front of you.
Jerome is slightly in love right now.
Absolutely.
So is the captain that's left in front of me, or
The captain has said his farewell, and he is no
Okay.
longer. The deckhand
Right.
is no longer. There is one, and if he were real, you could probably see the urine coming down his pants. But one is trying to run away. He's seen what's going on. He's been turned, but
okay?
he is within range, 7 feet from you.
Okay, I'm just going to look like I feel for these sailors, and I'm just going to cast Ice Knife,
Okay.
and just like so I have to do a ranged spell attack. If Ice Knife at 3rd level,
Okay.
so that's. Yeah, so that's 1d10 on hits, and that's a 19 to hit.
Of course.
So that's hang on, I need the dice. That's 4 points of piercing damage, and then 4d6 cold damage.
Ooh.
Give me a second.
I don't think I've
Dexterity
ever seen
save
a
for that
frozen
cold
ghost.
damage.
Yeah, you have to do a dex save of 16 or higher.
All right. My dexterity is 13. You get a +1. So 11 plus 1 is 12.
So he fails, so they take 16 points of cold damage as the ice knife like erupts inside the ghost.
Man. So you see Jerome, hesitant at first, but knowing he has to do this, fires this ice knife at this ghost. The knife, it hits him, and Jerome, this time you see almost as if the ice solidified a part of this ghost as it goes through it, knowing that you've hurt it, and you've hurt it bad. That's going to make the ghost stop, though, in its tracks, and it kind of turns around now, with the understanding that, it's just time to fight. It's time to get this over with. So he does turn and face the party at this point.
Okay. And I'm just going to, with the rest of my movement, just like walk up next to Anna and just like look. I'm looking at him and saying, I'm really sorry about this, and like I'm kind of mourning all these sailors.
Of course. So you see the look on Jerome's face is sort of the same of what the captain had, which is, I really don't want to, but I have to. And so, Frederick, is it your turn?
Yeah, I believe so. So there's one ghost left, just still in the middle of all this,
Yeah,
or is he
two others
away?
doing the walk of Christ. One of them is just the one he had just stuck a knife in.
Okay. So seeing that they kind of got this under control, I'm going to dispel just reaction, drop concentration on major image, and I'm going to see if I can, with still riding Moses Ghost, see if I can get the ship is physically there. It's not a ghost ship, right?
Correct. Yeah.
All right. Are there any chests nearby that I could feasibly just walk over to and just inspect, or just see if there's anything of value just within the immediate vicinity, coins or anything they might have traded?
Not on the deck that you see on this particular ship, but you have an inkling that there might be something else around somewhere. But it's as far as you can tell, there is no barrels or chests or boxes on the deck of this ship, because it's tilted, and there's a gap between the ship and the water, if you know what I'm saying, and the dock.
Okay. Well, I think I should be able to clear it with the goat. Can I? It's not a clear jump, but yeah, I'm just gonna, I'm going to see if I can ride on over, see if I can make the jump with riding Moses, the giant goat, just see if I can hop onto the ship and just see if I can get a peek on what's on over there.
It's about an 8-foot gap between the dock and the ship, okay? And the ship is tilted. But knowing that goats are able to climb mountainsides and things like that, they're very sure-footed. I would like to have an athletics check, and I'm gonna make that a 12.
Okay. Ooh, the goat has a +3 to strength, so let's see what he rolls.
Yeah, goats are...
that's not gonna cut it. That's 3 + 3.
Okay, so guys, you see Frederick and his goat make this leap, and all of a sudden, they land all fours on the deck of the ship, but then you hear scratch, 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 scratch as the goat and Frederick sink into the water.
Oh.
Frederick, what kind of armor do you have?
I am wearing, I believe it is light. Let me see. It's just leather. Yeah, that's all I'm wearing.
So, Frederick, you're not gonna sink. You're not gonna drown. You simply fall into the ocean water. Your goat, though, is precariously just trying to climb back up the boat because the dock is probably 9 inches above your head. But the goat, the goat's not going to drown either. It's kind of found a place where it can just kick its feet and keep its head above water. But you guys see Frederick enter the drink with the goat.
Okay.
Oops.
Do I have anything that? Nope. the best I can do. That was just the goat doing something, so I'm just gonna try climbing back up the boat, like using like the 2 daggers I have, just trying to like stick it into the wood and climb back up.
Yeah. So you want to climb onto the boat, right? You want to be on the boat and not the dock.
Right.
Okay. I mean, I don't have any problem with that. You are strong enough and wily enough. So you using your daggers kind of when you needed it to get up there. You make it. You make it on the dock. And remember, this isn't like a galley or a galleon or a gigantic. Think of this as a transport boat, meaning if you had the galley out somewhere, this would be the boat that would dock next to it and then bring goods back to where they needed to go. So, I mean, it's about 30 feet long and about 15 feet wide. Right now, it is tilted at about a 30-degree angle, and you do see holes in it, and you see barnacles, and you see that, this has been here for a long-ass time.
So is there a holding to like a below deck where I can see like perhaps where stuff?
I mean, if you want to stick your head underwater.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna. If there's anything like on the deck that I could like maybe make a check around to see if there's anything I can find like just on top level, that'd be just.
I mean,
can look for
so on the top of this boat, I mean, all you're really seeing is just old wood. There is, I mean, just shards of rope and shards of, broken dagger or two. You do see, however, more bones. And, the bones are, some of them are at the top, but they get caught on like a raised portion of the wood. But they've gone all the way down to that section that rises up from the boat. And just they're lying on the side, but you do definitely see what appears to be human remains.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna
but no
take
treasure.
note of that. Yeah, I'm just gonna take note of that, and then just let the people know, like, Birdsong, Kaladin, the bones are here if you want to put them to rest, and that's my turn.
Okay. I do believe at this point we do have one last ghost that's standing, who is turned around after being daggered with ice. And let me just... So the ghost is... you see him again contemplating whatever you think he's thinking about, but he is going to once again attempt a possession of Jerome. I mean, obviously you feel this connection. These guys know that you have this and you're the closest thing they have. So a DC 13 charisma saving throw, please.
Natural 20 plus 3, 23. I'm just saying, I'm kind of like, I feel his pain, and I'm understanding his pain, I'm understanding what he's going through, and like, before that connection snaps, kind of I want to kind of impart to him, I'll put you all at rest. I'll put you at rest.
So in that moment, Jerome, I mean, literally in that moment where, and you feel like it wasn't even a violent touch. He just put his hands on you. And in that moment, there was an exchange of memories and thoughts. You telling him that you want to put him to rest. You got this image of soldiers going house to house and grabbing men, killing women and children if they didn't go with certain people. And that's why he's here. You feel like he's here because they would have killed his wife and child if he did not come and do this particular job. And you got that image in your head of, a small house, a woman and a child, other soldiers coming through the streets, opening every door, and forcing men to labor in slavery, and those that did not comply, they killed their family. And you feel the pain and the sorrow. He knows his family's gone. He knows that he hasn't been able to connect with them. It's been years and years and years. And you feel this lament of, I'm here, but my wife and daughter are somewhere else. And you know that he feels that. He's not just a robot without feelings. He misses them, but he's been stuck eternally in this damn world, having to do the same thing over and over and over for years, missing his family and those he's loved once before.
Okay. Right. Like, as he tries to reach out to me, I'll just almost like instinctually reach out to him as well. And just
So,
say,
I mean,
like, be at peace. Go, my friend. Go back to the sea.
and you feel that warmth, but you also feel that compulsion that after years and years of not having a body and not being able to, feel that, he's almost compelled to take over a body. It's like he has to. He can't help himself. He wants a human body. He wants flesh and blood and and bone so that he can feel once again. He can't. It's like a vampire needing blood. He can't help it, but he's still compassionate. And that'll take us back to Kurjava as a direwolf.
Okay. Kajava's going to try and just jump on the deck and come alongside Jerome and Arna, and if she's got the movement, she's got 50 feet of movement.
So
and
she'll
she's
have
going
no
to
problem. Yeah,
So she's going to try
problem.
she's going to try sink his teeth into it.
Okay, just give me. She's going to attack the sailor.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll. Go ahead.
17.
That's going to hit. 17 hits. So the direwolf once again attacks the sailor, sinking teeth into nothingness, but yet hurting it.
5 points of piercing damage.
And 5 points, doesn't kill it, but it's almost death by 1,000 cuts. You feel him. You feel that he is feeling pain. Guys, this is radiating throughout the party. Jerome more so with that connection. But you guys are feeling this, and he's just taking it left and right, and he doesn't want to fight back, but he has to. And so that'll take us to Kaladin.
At this point, I'm not really sure. I think Cal is feeling all of that, but I don't know how aware he is of it. So he will send another guiding bolt at this one that name Kirjava just bit.
Yeah. Kaladin once again raises his hand, and a bolt shoots.
I do think on some sort of subliminal level, like maybe this is getting through to him. So this one's just going to be a first level this time.
Okay.
That is a 25 to hit.
That's north.
4, 12, 16 radiant damage.
And just apropos of the situation, he had 15 left. So it was like you truly gave him the death that he deserved. Just not going overboard and destroying, obliterating something. You did just enough to send this, it is an abomination, a cursed person. You did just enough, and while no words were spoken, Jerome, perhaps tears perhaps tears in this ghostly visage. He feels this bolt, and as he starts to slip away, you see it. You've never seen tears of a ghost until today. And on that last moment, when he dissipates and is gone, there's peace. There's psychic peace. Kaladin, you feel psychic peace. You all feel this almost a need to say thank you from another realm. But you know you've done the right thing here.
Jerome's going to walk off. He knows ships well, so he's going to walk off towards wherever the captain's cabin was. He's just going to walk that way. And
so, I mean, it's an eerie silence. You know, there were sounds of battles and grunts and people moving, and now it just appears like there's time of reflection. Like everybody just kind of stopped. The party, after doing this, you guys kind of all just paused. You know, with a unique understanding that sometimes it's not their fault that they got put in this situation in terms of what they've been made into. Certainly, some of them were coerced and forced into doing what they were doing. But this whole realization is coming to you now. And so Jerome walks off and, enters the deck. The direwolf pulls the goat onto the deck of the ship because it was sitting there. The direwolf will reach and pull the goat onto the boat.
I think the direwolf will probably try and eat the goat. To be honest,
No, not again. This is the third time you've eaten my goat.
So Jerome, you know that the captain's quarters are usually towards the bow of the ship, and you head up front, and you see, and this is a transport boat, so there is a small room with a chair and a table, but they're all thrown over on the tilt side of the boat. But there's, a couple candles, a chair, and you notice there is a ship's log, but man, it looks really old, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like just, the smell of old parchment, and you kind of got that going on, but other than that, a completely unremarkable room.
I'll say I followed him in there as well. If he knows where the cabin was, I'll just follow behind.
So Frederick's right behind you, kind of, quietly and slowly walking behind you, just checking things out with you.
Jerome will put the table up, put the chair up, put a few candles out. He'll just get the ship's log out and he'll try and just go through it. And he lights the candles for prestidigitation.
Okay.
And just sits down on the chair and just starts trying to read through this ship's log, trying to read through the names, trying to read through any kind of history about the ship.
So you guys, Frederick, you see Jerome kind of, straighten out the furniture a little bit. There is still a slight tip in the boat, so, Jerome's using one foot to kind of stay where the chair would be. He's kind of got his elbow on the table, so, just kind of making sure things aren't going to slide around. But Jerome, in this particular book, you're just seeing basically a manifest, 15 crossbows, 10 goblins. You're seeing this manifest, but there is, in fact, a small parchment in the back of this book, different paper from the rest, and you pull it out, and you see writing that is a lament, a missing of his family. And you learn that the name of the captain is Captain Farley. Tim Farley, actually. And you notice it's signed. You know that from the manifest, the name. But at the end of the lament, meaning this letter was meant to be sent to his wife and child, it says lovingly Farley at the end. And basically when you read it, you know he's a man that misses his family, and he's been gone for some time. Years, in fact, is what you're feeling. But the letter never got delivered. And remember, this is probably 50 years old or so. And it's inscribed, Dearest Alyssa. But that would be it. That's what you get, that single parchment and a manifest of everything that's been brought by this particular ship.
Could I investigate the rest of the room and see if I can find any iconography of any, like, crime organizations or people they might have been connected to in the quarters, see if there's any, or any other, like, secrets within this, secret compartments or things like that in here?
Sure. And so, roll a, what should we do here for searching? Insight?
Investigation would be.
Yeah, let's do investigation. That's better. Let's do that.
Okay. I will do a roll for it. Oh, it's not coming up there. That's fine. I will do it on here. That is a 12 total.
Okay, so a 12, you investigate, the room, and you're looking into things, and you really don't. There's really nothing of interest. It doesn't look like it's a room that you stay long in. It just looks like it's a room that you would just get your work done and get out, meaning write the manifest, write what's in here, and leave as fast as you can.
Doesn't look like there's anything else of value aside from this letter, so...
Well, why don't you roll me a d20 real fast and tell me what you get?
Ooh, okay. That's a 7.
Okay. So, no, you don't notice anything, and it's all status quo for you right here.
I mean, do you want to take the letter, or is it even worth it? It looks like it's been here for far too many years, and the family it could have been written to might be dead too.
Frederick, go collect the bones.
Oh,
Put the bones on the top deck. The letter arrival. I've got the letter.
okay. And
Just
I'll
tell Birdsong not to do anything till I get there. If that's okay, my friend.
and I will go do all of that.
Bertie had already, when she saw Jerome and Frederick heading down, first thing she would have done is gone to Kaladin and just kind of laid a hand, grabbed his on his arm, grabbed his wrist, given a little squeeze, and a rub. I'm here. I've got you. I know. We know this, and I'm going to go finish the job. And she slung her shield and put her flail up, and she's gone down to where Frederick said the bodies were, and she's been carrying them up already to put them on the deck or on the dock on a suitable flat surface, and laying them out to prepare them to lay these souls to rest for eternity, so that the bodies can't be used again. And she's been praying, and she's been doing this.
Right. Just
Okay.
Jerome needs to just take care of something, and then once he's ready, you can begin the process. So, just a heads up.
I think upon noticing that Frederick came out and Jerome was still in there, Cal's going to head towards the room where Jerome is and just sort of step inside and quietly watch Jerome for a few moments and then clear his throat. And when Jerome looks over, just sort of give him a wry smile and hold up his holy symbol and say, it can work on others too, if you like.
I'm fine. Let's. Is everything ready on the deck?
They're working on it. We'll be shortly, yeah.
Okay. Right.
I'll give you a minute. Come on out when you're ready, and if you change your mind, you just let me know.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Yeah.
I'll head back up.
All right. So we have, on the top deck, we have people doing what Jerome has asked. Jerome is, obviously either quite shaken or contemplating different things that he's, learned, because the fate of all sailors, as people know, even if you're the enemy and you're in the water, you're a sailor and they'll pick you up and at least make you a prisoner and not die. There's a code there. And so he knows this, and so you guys know that he really relates to these things. And so Jerome, you've spent time doing what, contemplating, thinking, doing what you need to do. You do believe there has been enough time for them to have done what you needed. What next?
I'll walk around, leave the room, just leave as is. Walk up onto the deck, and I'm gonna cast Dragon's Breath on myself.
Okay.
And it will be dealing fire damage when it does. And just walk up to everyone and says, begin the rites. I'll burn the bodies.
Right.
And then just like it in my head, it'll be a case like, as soon as Birdsong and Kaladin start doing the rites and everything, it'll just be a slow exhale of flame coming out.
Certainly.
Over all the bodies.
And again, even Kaladin felt, the lament from these creatures. And as angry as he hates traitors, I think Kaladin even had the feeling of not all is what it seems here. And as Kaladin and Birdie kind of, tag team, doing the rites and trying to send these poor souls to where they need to go, they exit the ship. Everybody kind of gets off the ship because there's really not much to see on this one. Yet the bones were placed meticulously in, a place where you guys thought it would be best. And Jerome, as you stand getting ready to, turn them into a funeral pile to send them to where they need to go, you just get this overwhelming feeling that you have done the right thing. That even though it was a fight and you had to dispatch them, you feel in your heart that when this is done, they will be in the right place and you have done what you needed to do to literally save their souls. And Kaladin has an understanding of this as well. Being a cleric and understanding, the undead and things of spiritual nature. And the paladin has an idea as well. So, Jerome, the pier is ready. The boat is ready. What do you do?
As the sort of like use the slow exhale of like go to the end of the dock. Jerome just stands there, and there's a slow exhale of flame out onto this boat and onto the pyre, and as it just the slight force from it just pushes it out as it burns.
So, unlike when you've seen Jerome use this in battle or angrily in battle, you notice that this is different. Jerome slowly exhales as fire, comes forth, gently yet purposely burning these bones. It turns them to ash. And apropos of the situation, Jerome, you see the ash land in the water as if it was a burial by sea. You know that this is what they would have wanted. Every sailor, has a thought that if I go, bury me at sea and send me to Davy Jones' locker. And so these ashes start to spread out over the water. And at that, the bones have disappeared, and the ash is, some floating, but also starting to sink. And perhaps giving life to, fish and other things that will feed on it. So that's where you're at right now, heroes. What do we do next?
Once the ceremony's finished and the boat's moved on, we've just started on this. We've traveled maybe 200 yards into this keep, and we need to get help to our friends and to Camden. So Birdie is very much at times pragmatic about this. We do what we have to do, but we serve a living. It's time to move on. These souls are at rest. It's time to go. And so she just flail, shield, and she starts to move forward.
So, Birdie kind of just readjusts, asserts herself, refocuses on the mission at hand, has that, that perseverance and that strength you just see, which is, a little strange coming from a halfling, but man, is that one badass halfling. Yeah, and so you see her just reset. She hits the reset button, kind of glances, and it's time to go. And so you guys are on the left-hand side of what appears, again, to be docks and a cave, a very large cave. And as the heroes kind of, walk along the docks, they're walking, the sounds of waves crashing become more and more prevalent. And so you hear, and it's funny because you wonder why there's not a whole lot of waves and different heights in the cave, but you hear waves crashing, not big waves, just kind of little ones, maybe 3 to 5 footers. And you guys are walking out, and Frederick, roll a perception roll check, please.
Okay. Let us do that. That is a 17 on perception.
All right, so Frederick, you notice as you guys are walking, and you guys are interested. It's like any lake you would be walking next to. You kind of, looking in the water, checking things out, and hopefully Birdsong comes back soon. You see what appears to be coin in the water.
Like, just floating on the water? Or is it like...
No,
like
coins don't float, my friend. These are
I was gonna
down.
say.
Oh, I was like, yeah, I don't know about that.
It's definitely not real.
Coins? That's an illusion. I don't want it. No, these, you see what appears to be coins down on the bottom of the water of this cave, about 20 to 25 feet. Just a little glint, but you can see it.
Okay. I'm going to... Let me just double check. My mage hand, 30 feet, so I'm going to just grab a couple of... Cast mage hands and the glove down there, grab a couple of coins, and see if anything happens.
Okay, so you guys see... Frederick casts mage hand, this ethereal hand, goes down into the water and, is over the shiny objects, picks it up and brings it back. And, Frederick, it is indeed a silver piece or two.
Okay.
A legit silver piece.
Huh. Is there any more down there from what I can see? Just like peering over.
You see maybe a couple, but how would you know from way up here?
All right. I'm going to...
And you're
Is
still
the party
wet,
like
by the way.
nearby? Okay. Is like
Yeah.
the party nearby?
They are indeed.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yes, and probably wanting to move forward. What is it, Frederick? What are you?
Right.
Can we? What is it?
Right, well, there appears to be some coin down here. I think this might be some...
Coin?
There's a chance... there's a chance that this could be funds left by the shift in transport. It could be handy. If it's not exactly dirty money, it could be worth...
I don't think we're going to be shopping anytime soon because Camden and the others are dying.
Also, there's that whole issue of St. Cuthbert being gone or something. Perhaps we'll come back later.
That.
All right. And while we're 10 feet away, I cast me 10, 30 feet again, see if I can grab a couple more coins.
So mad at you.
Just like, I can take 10 pounds, I just want to grab one hand. Just
Okay, so
scooping.
I mean, you're like playing the crane game right now, putting like dollar bills in and kind of putting the hoping. Yeah. Okay, so Frederick's playing the crane game. Frederick, you actually pull up 10 platinum.
Ooh, all right.
As Jerome seeing him playing the crane game, Jerome is
You are watching him. He's trying to keep it on the slide because you guys just admonished him, but he's like,
Wait, could I, since I was trying to keep it slide, can I roll a sleight of hand just to be sly about it, just to see if I can?
yeah, give me a sleight of hand. Absolutely.
All right.
Sleight of mage hand.
Sleight of the mage
Oh, boy.
hand. Oh, that's not very good. It's only a 5 plus 10. So
Yeah,
15.
you see it. You see what's going on.
Jerome sees this.
Yeah.
Takes off his jacket and puts his stuff to the side and says, "Don't try and do that again. If you're gonna do it properly and do it quickly." And I'm gonna cast Alter Self on myself.
Uh-oh.
And to basically have gills sprout out of my neck and webbing through my fingers, and I'm gonna dive in full.
Right out of the movie Big Fish, if you've ever seen it. He enters the water, turns into this big fish-looking thing.
No,
Looks
it's
like
literally
a
all
black cat.
I get is gills and.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you turn the gills and hands.
Creature from the
But you're
Black
still
Lagoon.
humanoid.
Yeah.
Okay. Jerome, you get down to the bottom. You see broken chests everywhere. And a boat on the bottom with a gigantic hole in its side. And there's... some of them's got I don't know, the oxidation kind of stuff on it. But yeah, dude, you see, what we'd call in Vegas a jackpot.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and bring as much of this up as I can in one go. Like, especially like, anything that's platinum, and just go. As soon as I get to the surface, I'm just gonna put it on the side and go to Frederick. Will that do you for now?
Oh,
So you see this human-turned humanoid fish rise above the water with 2 fistful of platinum shining in the light, and he throws it down on the dock, and he's got about 25 pieces in his hand.
ooh. Okay.
I'll go down once more with a bag. If you think, no, if you want to go down, I'll go once more with a bag, and that'll be it.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Do you want to do that Can you do that on me so I can help you if it's a chest, so we can swim back up and bring it over here? If you need the extra hands, you do that.
I just give me a bag. I'll go down and grab it. I can only do it on one person. We want to get going.
Okay.
So Bernie, you're seeing all this, by the way. You and
platinum. That's all I'm doing.
Birdie's continued on.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll just give him a quick sack. Oh, yeah. Go.
Okay,
Loading
Well,
this.
he's out there,
Rose.
pocket of 25.
roll me a d20 right quick.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to use lucky. My luck.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh my God.
You all.
That's a 15.
Oh.
That'll work. So Jerome, you are on the bottom, and you start to kind of like just sift some of the the silt and the dust that's on the bottom of this thing. Not a whole lot because it is a cave, so it's mostly rocky. You are staring at 20 gems. You see a couple of what appears to be potions, in vials. There's a couple of those. There's more coins than you can count, though, down there.
Okay.
Of all denominations. Copper, silver, gold, platinum. And what do you want to do?
All the gems and the potions, as much platinum and gold as I can get in.
Okay. How big is the bag, just basically, guys, so I know?
Just
What
like
is
a
it?
standard sack.
It can hold up to 30 pounds or 1 cubic foot.
Okay, 1 cubic foot is what I needed to know. That's good. Okay, all right. So, I'm going to assume Jerome is going for the high-priced items first. Anything that looks platinum or gold.
Platinum, gold, gems, and...
Okay, so you've been able to fit, and you can mark it down, you've been able to fit 10 gems, 50 platinum, and 125 gold, and 2 potions sticking out the top of the bag.
They're just regular
You're
old
barely able to
potions.
fit those.
Right, and I'll swim back up, pull myself out of the water and go, right, let's go, we got this. Well, do you think this is fine?
Oh, totally fine. Yeah. We'll have to
Right.
figure out what these potions do later, because otherwise we don't want to have anything bad in the battlefield. But yeah, so let's
Right.
get mostly on down then.
Right, now let's go, because I understand what they're doing. Let's go do that, all right?
Yeah. Of course.
And I give him a good pat on the shoulder and go, you did good. Good. But we'll show the potions to Birdie,
Okay.
because, we never know when we might need a potion. All right?
Okay. Sure. And
Right.
see if, I know he told me to go to Birdie, but you see, like, how, knowing that we had the cleric, I want to go to him first and see if he can discern what these potions are.
Is this like a situation of, dad's annoyed, so you're going to mum to make sure?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man. So, Callan, you see Frederick running like a school kid on the last day of school up to you with a big old bag full of stuff and potions. What happens next, Frederick?
Yeah, if you could just identify these for me, just I don't know if you know your healy bits, so I don't know if you could be able to tell if these were healing potions or any types of things that should make us stronger, or if they might be bad. If you could tell, that'd be good. If not, we can just put it on hold for later.
Oh man, Cal is super torn. He's super torn because on the one hand, like, what are we doing? People are dying, and a god has disappeared. But on the other hand, like, things got real serious for a minute there, and it's sort of nice to be a little bit back to normal with this motley crew of goofballs. I think Cal will humor him and take one of them and try to figure out what it is. And I don't know how would you like me to go about that, Kevin?
I would tell you this. All the potions are exactly the same, and there's 3 of them.
Okay, great.
So you know that if you identify one, it's most likely going to be all 3. Why don't we just first use your knowledge of potions?
Sure.
And just kind of give me a, what
You
would
wanna
that be?
call it-
Investigation?
I could
do
do
you think?
investigation. I could do Arcana if you want.
Let's do Arcana. Let's do that.
Great. So that's a 23.
Yeah. No, you know these potions well. In fact, you've dabbled in making them before at some point. They are potions of extra healing.
Great.
All 3.
Great. So I'll tell Frederick that and then say, now, do you mind if we maybe get going so that we can give these to the people who probably by now need them up on the surface?
Yes, of course, we can totally do that. I just, at least, like, if we're going to be traveling, might as well loot some shit. That's how it is.
Oh, Frederick. Well, it's good to have you back, I guess. We'll talk about this later.
All right, so
Alright,
Frederick, you guys get this loot. You guys are having sort of a jovial moment because you're just like, oh, Frederick, of course, he's the guy that wants the gold and things, and it's funny. And watching Jerome turn into a fish is always exciting, or sprouting gills and webby hands. I mean, so that's always exciting to see. When somebody changes like that. The druid's taken aback a little bit, but she thinks it's cool because she can't turn into that. She wants to. But, maybe someday she'll learn that form. But so as you guys are kind of, starting your way with Birdsong just like on a mission right now, man, like left, right, left, like she's just going, right? You see that this cave, it's still quite large, but you do see the end of it. I mean, it's, and you see there's, water, the ocean. There's no waterfall. There's nothing hiding anything. But you are starting to hear a familiar sound, one of which fills you with dread. The sound of a large battle taking place.
Oh, boy.
As we approach the other side of the cavern, is there another doorway? Is it an open tunnel?
It's like literally an open arch that a ship can just kind of come right through. So
Okay,
what you
and
would
the
have to do, so what you'd have to do, you would just have to come out of the cave, see what's up there or what's on the other side, and climb up towards land. You know what I mean?
All right.
If you leave the cave.
Yeah, Birdsong, I think she's already, as soon as she hears the sounds of battle, that's it. That's why we're here. And she's going to look back at the rest of the group. She goes, the fight is on. And she's just going to start striding forward. And as she steps outside, I want to use my divine sense again to search for the celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that are not behind total cover, areas of consecration or desecration.
So you reach out once again with your mind and imbued by your God to feel these things. At this point, you don't feel anything out of the ordinary. It's just normal. But you do feel like when you turn around, remember that edge of fuzziness you felt of desecration? You kind of look back in the direction that it's gone. You don't feel that anymore. You just feel neutral. Like everything's neutral.
I think that sort of look of concentration that Birdsong has when she's reaching out with her divine senses is familiar, particularly to Kaladin. So I'll sort of look over and just sort of raise an eyebrow and, wait to see what she can tell us.
What do you got?
As the glow is fading from the tree on her shield, she'll look at him and say, they're at rest, as are the ones that we met before. There is nothing else close by. But there are people fighting, people dying, and we need to go.
All right.
And Kaladin will sort of give a wry little smile and say, well, maybe we can talk somebody out of fighting at long last.
And so the battle that we were hearing, was it more like, is it like still continuous and it's like very, like it's more audible? Like you can tell if it's like cannon fires and more just like clanging of things?
Oh no. As you kind of get closer to the exit of this cavern, you, how do I explain this? Screams, swords clashing, death, destruction, moans and groans, and all the bad things associated. But right now it's not like on top of the cave. There's a little bit of distance. In fact, you notice that this isn't the keep at all. This is something that was hidden, perhaps, a little ways away, so as not to be noticed.
All right. Just
But
hearing
you
all
hear
that,
those familiar sounds.
Yeah, I'm going to pull something else out of the bag, see if I can get anything else to help. Oh, yes, we got the brown bear. Pops out the bag, and now you see a pretty big old grizzly bear wearing a nice little vest and a fez.
It's Frankfurt.
Yes, this is Rufus, actually.
Rufus. Oof, Rufus. My bad.
Yeah,
Rufus the bear, straight out of
Yes.
your commission. I love it.
Yep, and
All right.
I'm just going to mosey on forward, or just like get right. If there's like a line where like Birdie is waiting, I'm just going to be right behind there with my boys.
Okay. All right, heroes. So you've got to the mouth of the cave. You hear in the distance fighting, but what are you doing? Are you standing? Are you trying to find a way up? What's going on?
Birdsong is on her way. She is trying to get to where they need to be. She hears the battle. This is why they're here. People are dying. She needs to be up there.
Okay, so you guys, as you're turning and exiting the cave, and you want to run and you want to turn, but as you turn, it's a 20-foot sheer cliff. But it does slope down as you go further west. And so you think that a half a mile down, you could get to the point to where you could get back up to land.
Does that take you closer to or away from the fighting?
It's going to take you away, but not by much.
It's a half a mile, you said?
Half a mile. So if you ran, it would take you about 4 minutes. I mean, if you walked, it'll take you about 12.
Bonus action, Misty Step. Up. She's at the top of the cliff.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I'm
All
just
right.
full dashing, riding Rufus down that half mile.
Yeah, he can. So
Yeah.
Birdsong, you flash up to the top. Frederick, you and your bear are just booking it and knowing and feeling that trepidation of, oh shit, this is about ready to hit the fan. Jerome, Kaladin, you feel a sense of urgency in both your compatriots as they just take off. The druid turns into a giant eagle and flies up to the top.
Yep. I mean, I don't have anything that can get me there any faster, so Jerome, if you want a benign transposition, feel free. I'll meet you on the other side.
Screw it. I just grab him and dimension door.
Can you grab Arna too?
Yeah.
Buddy, we've
Actually,
talked about this.
hang on.
I think it's limited to one person you can take.
I can
you
take
can only
one
take
other
one.
person.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I look at choice between Arna and Kaladin. I'm like,
And Arna says, take
Kaladin.
Kaladin.
All right.
And I'm like, and I just look at Kaladin's face and I'm like,
All right.
you got this, buddy. Grab Arna and teleport it with Arna.
Paladin is so relieved. He hates dimension dooring. It always makes him feel upside down for a little while afterwards.
So, Cal,
Arna's up there with me.
Cal,
Yeah.
immediately upon you see them dimension dooring out,
Yeah.
you see this rope unfurling towards the ground at you, and you see that the Dragonborn has tied it around her waist, and it says, time to climb.
I love that. That I can do.
So with really, very little effort, this Dragonborn's like pulling you up. You feel her
I
strength.
love it.
So you're doing your Batman walk on the cliff. She's got you by the rope.
I love it.
Yep. And so as you get to the top, as the party turns and stares, imagine, if you will, there's an eagle, a brown bear, a wizard, a paladin, a bard. You guys, in this epic kind of posing picture, are looking into the distance, and you see about 3/4 of a mile smoke, fire, death, destruction, fighting, a winged creature flying over the keep. You look and you just see goblins appear to be overrunning this facility. I mean, there's more than you can count. You know from previous experience that the St. Cuthbert clergy trains here as well. It's not only the acolytes and priests that train here, but it is indeed members of the Shieldlands. But right now, you're looking at pure destruction.
Yo. Okie dokie.
Here's
Yeah.
going to be fun. Holy shit.
Looks like
think
we've
we
got
might
work
be-
to do. And she's walking towards the keep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Kijarber's still a giant eagle, yeah?
Yes.
I'm just gonna benign transposition onto her back
Okay.
Excellent.
and be like, oh dear. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Just.
So, the party obviously seeing what's going on and knows the ramifications and everything that goes with this. Again, it's like that readying up scene. You guys have cinched your belts. You've put your shields on, tested your straps, made sure that everything is ready to go. All your backup weapons are clean. I mean, you're ready. And you start this march, this almost motley-looking crew with animals and people. You march towards this battle. And as you get closer and closer, the screams are louder. The moans are louder. You see death and destruction even on the outside. You see humans whose limbs are gone or being actually chewed on by goblins at this point. You see goblins that have been killed, speared from the top of these walls. And as you peer into the sky, the winged creature you saw is actually on the side of good.
Oh.
It's Camden riding a rock and swooping down and attacking creatures left and right. But he's wounded. You see that he's got arrows in him. You see that he's not unhurt. And it looks as if he's hurt badly. But yet he stays in the fight, and you see him swooping down time after time after time. But on one last occasion, as he's swooping down and he turns this wide right turn, which is basically right at you, you see an arrow strike truly into the heart of the rock.
Oh.
The rock lights out.
Oof.
And as it starts to kind of do that, its wings fold and it starts to just spin, and it hits the ground with such a thud, a thunderous, just the ground shakes, and it skids towards you. Camden lying on the side,
I look at
100
Kaladin.
yards from you.
I was
And
gonna
I'm
try
running.
to. Oh, yeah.
Kaladin and I
Yes.
are probably at full out run.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Full out run towards Camden.
Oh yeah.
The party sprints.
Me and Kajava are probably flying overhead and just
Yeah.
providing
Me
some
and-
air assistance if we need to.
I'll offer a hand
So
to
you-
like Arna or Kaladin if they want to ride on as well.
So you see that when you're sprinting, the rock is clearly deceased. He's dead. Camden is on death's door. I mean, if you could be at negative hit points and still be conscious, he would. That's where he's at. He's beaten. He's battered. Go ahead, Bertie.
I'm going to, Birdie's just going to, and without even thinking about it, it's lay on hands, and she will dump all 40
Yeah.
into him, bring him back.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Bertie, you jump and you you literally are doing a sliding stop on your knees. Like you're sprinted, you've slid perfectly up to Camden. I mean, without thinking, your hands glowing in a bluish, greenish kind of healing light. You grab him by the shoulders and you dump all your healing energy into him. And you see that he does look better. He's, the color in his face is coming back.
She's like, you
There's
bastard,
one
you are
wound.
too tough to die now.
There's one wound that won't heal. There's one wound that won't heal. And it's a nasty, blackened ichor on the right side of his chest where this arrow has struck home.
Bonus action. She's got her beads on her, and she pulls off one of the beads, crushes it, and lays it against the wound, and casts Greater Restoration on the wound.
So you notice that as you crush the speed and you cast, it was absolutely what was needed to help Camden become himself. You saw he had actually devolved, smaller. His muscles were smaller. He's not as fast. And that was probably why he got caught in this fight, because he wasn't his normal self. But as you cast Greater Restoration, he starts to fill out again. You see he comes to, and he finally actually realizes that he's on the ground. He did not know. And he says, the fight was over since it started. We knew we weren't going to be able to win. I need you to go. I need you to go to the free city of Greyhawk. I need you to take a message to them.
There's no way we can help. There's no way we can turn the tide of the war of this fight.
It's overwhelming. There's no way. Otherwise, I would say have at it. Let me just tell you, you have been perhaps the greatest crew I've ever had. And I'm not going to get mushy and tell you, you know, all these things, but the reality here is you are my people. You are the ones that have held this together for the longest time. But I need you to go now because this mission is greater than all of us. And it's very simple. I need you to go to the free city of Greyhawk and go to the sacred temple of Cuthbert and say these exact words. And I need you to repeat them after I tell you. Go to the sacred temple and repeat these words. A rose has lost its thorn.
Ooh.
A rose has
A rose has lost its thorn.
Say it again.
A rose
Rose
has lost
has lost its thorn.
I ask this in the name of Camden the Thorn Rose, from the Order of the Rosy Cross of Truth. I ask that you take on this quest and give me your oath that you will not break it.
If it has something to do with my siblings in faith and those who follow St. Cuthbert, then yes, of course.
It has everything to do with that, Kaladin.
Then I suppose I don't have much of a choice. Nearest thing to something that important would be if something happened to Rao himself.
So you see Camden kind of get to his feet. I mean, he's still shaken up. He's healthier than he has been.
Sure.
But he rises to his feet and he turns and he takes the molded helmet off of his rock. The rock had like this molded metal helmet, you know, more aluminum than hard.
Sure.
And he took it off and he just strokes the head of the rock twice. And he turns and he says, do this for us. Do this for us. Do this for the world. Do this for Cuthbert. And he simply turned and he's walking back to the keep where the fighting is happening.
Oh, boy.
But we can't leave you to die. It's not right for us to let you go down in the fight. We should go down with you.
Birdsong hands Camden, she just slaps a healing potion into his hand as he starts to walk away. She's, upon my oath to the Tuatha, to the Nan, it will be as you ask. And she salutes him, turns around, and starts walking towards the direction of Greyhawk.
And with that, it was like a perfect handoff. You hand it, he grabbed it. I mean, it was one fluid motion. And as you turned and saluted, he pivoted on his heels in perfect parade fashion and snaps a salute back at the entire group. And then pivots once again and walks to the keep. And that is where we're going to stop today. We are here.
I want to help so bad. Why is it?
We are
We are helping.
And there you go. Our heroes maybe watching one of their mentors walk to his doom. Because it's his duty. It's what he has to do.
Damn it.
Camden's a tough old bastard. He won't die yet.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
So, man, there was a lot of fighting in this one and a lot of information being given. But that's where we'll end it. And we'll, I got a little emotional too. Camden's my boy. I treat him like he's me, you know, that's my guy. But anyways, let's do this. Let's go around the horn one more time. And again, this is the shameless plug session. So please tell everybody, what you're doing, who you are, because you guys got to know these guys are super talented and you need to go watch their streams. This is, I am very lucky to have this group with me. So if you guys could go ahead and we'll start with Frederick once again. I'm still in character. So Frederick, we'll start with you.
All right. Hello, it's again Kevin playing Frederick, the Dwarf Bard. You can find me on the social medias at KKudoVA on Twitter and all that other stuff if you want to find updates on projects I'm voicing and potential games I may be DMing in the future. But yeah, that's all about it for me.
Birdsong.
Hi, I'm Kat. I am at Cleric of Cord on the Twitters. I play a lot of D&D and tabletop games on the internet. You can find me pretty much, well, let's put it this way. The easiest way to find me is to go to my pinned tweet and check out my schedule, and all the games that I'm playing is there on the tweet. So come by and say hi. I will be back here on Encounter Roleplay on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern for Inquisitor, for our Warhammer 40K game using Mutants and Masterminds, which is quite a bit of fun. And then again on Thursdays, I'm here for Deck of Many Worlds, the viewer player game. And if you want to come play with us, hit us up in the Discord. It is a lot of fun as we go plane hopping and try to revive my dead character. Anyways, so just to keep things light and happy. But thanks for coming out. If you're watching this on YouTube or on the VOD, we're here every Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm on Pacific.
Me too.
And thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. Right. Hey, I'm Tim at Anonmoth on all the social media interwebs. This is now my only game for a while because I work for churches and summer is absolute chaos and madness. So, that's all fun. And I'm going to have no sleep for the next couple of days. That's all good. So yeah, you can catch me here next Friday. Also, people who aren't here this week in stream, you've got Debauchery. Make sure it's outside Mom. So go follow her here as well. I need arrows and stuff. Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah, and then also Freddy Fia, who will be here next week, I think. She is also in the Ghosts of Saltmarsh, the Sirens medal game on Encounter Roleplay. I don't know exactly when that is, but she's on that game as well. So go check both of them out as well.
That is on Saturdays at 8 p.m.
There we go, Saturdays at 8 p.m. Yeah, we're professionals. So yeah, go check them out and support them, and hopefully they'll be back next week, barring any technical difficulties or anything like that.
Yep. All right. Who's up?
It's me. I am Eugenio, also known as your friendly neighborhood Dungeon Master, DM Jazzy Hands. I am the Dungeon Master for the actual play podcast, The Last Refuge, which is my baby. You can check us out on Twitter at DND Last Refuge, or our website, dndlastrefuge.com. We've got just over a month before our 2-year anniversary. We're going to do a live stream, do some giveaways, fun stuff like that. Just keep an eye on our Twitter. If you want to hear about any of that, you can follow me on Twitter at DM Jazzy Hands, and I'll usually post wherever I'm going to be during the week. Speaking of where I'm going to be during the week, on Sundays you can catch me at Gratuitous RP, DMing a game there. Having a lot of fun, about to take them into the city of Waterdeep. Use some of the material that was in Waterdeep Dragon Heist to sort of fill out the city. Super excited about that. Mondays, you can find me DMing a game on the Greyhawk channel at 1 p.m. Eastern called The Brenton Files Monsters and Myths, sort of a horror trope game that I just started last week, and I'm super excited about it. The cast is a ton of fun, adding a couple of cast members this week, so that should be great. And then Monday nights, you can catch me on the Variant Roles channel playing a game set in Ravnica that we are starting this coming Monday, so you haven't missed anything yet. So that'll be on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. Also, Variant Roles I'm on the creative council of that channel, and we're doing a bunch of cool stuff for Pride Month this month. So come check out what we're doing over there when you're not here on Encounter Roleplay watching all of us play our awesome games.
Wow. Again, just super blessed to be here with all of you every Friday. And just again, I'm that guy that actually pushes everything aside. This is like my priority. This is the game I really, really love. So appreciate all of your guys' amazing skills and attention and, play style and role playing. You guys are the best, and I really appreciate that. Kevin Hit here. Kevin _Hit on Twitter. I am an esports investigative journalist that goes in and finds the bad guys in the scene. And just like when you lift a rock up for the first time and all the bad critters see the light, they usually go run and scatter around. That's basically what I do. So, but, more importantly, I played D&D since the beginning, played it in the, 70s and 80s. And being able to play it with these guys is just a pleasure for me. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoy it. And I'd like to end with this, and I mean this in all sincerity. If there's anything that, you'd like to see more of during the game, or any critiques and or admonishments, I would love to hear it, because quite frankly, I want to be the best there is and make this the most entertaining show on the planet. So, if you want to write me a letter and say you suck, hey, I'll take it. I won't even be mad at you. But if you'd like to write a letter and say, hey, these things I like, I can take those too. So for the cast here at Basilica of the Cudgel, my name is Kevin Hitt. I'm your DM, and bring your ass back here next Friday. It'll be a lot of fun. Yeah. Until then,
and if you've got free time now, stick around and watch Assault in Justice, or On Justice rather, I suppose. That's coming up right here in just a couple of minutes as soon as we are done.
Can't you just write me that note? You're so good at it. I need to write that down.
I know. And I'm like, oh, you should tell them about that.
I'm such a bad host. Write that in a letter and tell me.
Write that newsletter and mail it all the way to where he lives, just so he can.
Yes.
Not even typing a message, just newsletter.
Oh, yes. I wish you could do real message.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it won't work. Anyways, for the cast, I'm Kevin. We'll see you guys next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.